Alright guys, welcome to this stream and going into this New York AM macro. So let me quickly break down what's happened already prior to this AM macro. And you can see here on the 15-minute time frame that we've taken out all these short-term highs. We've also swept Asia high and tapped into a higher time frame bearish gap, which is high probability that price is going to draw and take out all of these key levels here. And we have a clean pair of equal lows for NQ as well, which is a major drawn liquidity at 19,880. So we're going to look for price to draw to that level there. We've displaced lower on the 15-minute time frame, taken out the short-term high. We've also swept Asia highs and then tapped into that higher time frame bearish gap. And then we're going to see a continuation, most likely to take out these equal lows, and also sell side at 19,819. Considering that ES doesn't take these, because ES has a very clean pair of relative equal lows, 5733. Considering ES doesn't already take that, then NQ is going to keep drawing lower. It came off this 15-minute bearish algorithmically. We're going to see price continue and take out these levels. Going into the New York AM session is a possibility that we're going to see price draw back up, take out this minor buy side liquidity, tap into that 15-minute bearish again, and then we can get a clean setup to go short to then target these lows. Preferably that is what we want to see today, but if we don't see that, then we're most likely going to see NQ take out these lows or sell side, and then we can look to take longs to target this minor buy side liquidity. How's everyone doing today? There's not really too many people inside of the chat. The ads are already off, so I made sure they was off before the stream, and the podcast went well yesterday, and I've got another big podcast on Thursday as well. And for any of you inside of the group who are from the UK, I'll be flying back to the UK on Friday for only around 4 days. You can also see, considering we've just come out of a 15-minute bearish uni, we've displaced lower on the higher time frame, and we've got a higher time frame bias of drawing to these equal lows and sell side. Considering this level is not swept, I will look to take shorts off this 1 minute bearish gap. We took out the short-term high, we sharply displaced lower, but we're not currently inside of the macro, so we need to wait until 9:45 to see how price reacts, and then we would look to take shorts off that level. Okay, so ES has just taken them equal lows at 5733, and NQ's also taken them equal lows. That also gives us a higher time frame SMT, and I'll quickly explain to you guys what I mean by that. So you can see here on the 15-minute time frame, you can see that ES has taken out that major low and this major set of equal lows, creating a low and a lower low, and then NQ has created this low here, the previous low, which has not been taken, but it's taken this other short-term low, but the other low is, we have a higher high, so it's the complete opposite, and that's an example of a clean SMT. So at this point in time, we're not really going to be looking for shorts unless price draws back up to a premium and then it takes out one of these minor buy-side liquidity levels, and we can get a clean setup to then go short and target sell side. But as of now, I'm not really leaning towards shorts because now these equal lows, the short-term equal lows have been taken, and we've got an SMT on the higher time frame. So as of now, we're going to wait patiently and see if we get a clean setup to go long, as price is also going to want to draw and fill all of these bearish imbalances here on the 15-minute time frame. Therefore, now these equal lows and sell side has been swept, we can look for price to draw to 20.081. And yes, of course, we're still running half position size. So if we engage with price inside of this macro, it will be with half position size until we catch a winning trade, and then we go back to full position size. And that's the way you go. So you just continue at half position size, and that's the correct risk management. You'll never blow any of your accounts. Never. You never even come close. Okay, so you can see here that we've seen a very sharp displacement, which is perfect on NQ. So we're going to look for a 1 minute bullish to close up or enter off a breaker block or an order block, considering how this 1 minute bullish gap actually closes afterwards. But we will be taking this to then target any one of these buy side liquidity levels. Okay, so in this instance, for me personally, I'm not going to be able to run a second TP, so it'll just be first and final. And then we're running a 25 handle stop on this trade. We don't want to run more than a 25 handle stop because it is valid, and price came back down into this 1 minute bullish around the 50% point of this gap. And now we'll see whether we get first TP or not. But we are taking this with half position size, therefore I won't be able to take second TP off at this level, but I will do on my other prop firm accounts. Okay, so on half position size, the first TP got hit, but make sure you leave your stops at break even and edit the stops at break even, because otherwise you'll be triggered into a short position if you don't edit your stop. And now at this point, we'll see whether we get second TP or get taken out at break even. But we should start to see a pickup in price and acceleration higher if we are going to see that. Otherwise, we're just going to get taken out at break even after securing first TP. And that's the acceleration in price, which I was telling you about. So that's second TP hit.
Order filled. Order filled.
And then make sure you just leave your stops at break even at this point. I managed to secure second TP on the other prop firm accounts, but not on the 300k accounts. The overall drawn liquidity is not this short-term high. It would be this short-term high, which also has that bearish imbalance resting above it as well. So that's why we're targeting this level as our final TP at 20.011. And yet again, as this trade should be algorithmic, it will come down and tap this 1 minute bullish, and then algorithmically respect it on either NQ or ES and just see a continuation higher, and it should keep continuing and repricing higher towards final TP. But if we do get taken out at break even, it's not a problem. We've secured second TP on the majority of our accounts. No, so that's a good question. After taking a win inside of the AM session, I don't even review any of the other macros. I don't review the PM session or the second AM macro. I literally close the laptop and I run other businesses. So I get away from trading and I move straight to anything that I have to do. But after a winning trade, I'm done and I'm focusing on other things. I don't have time to waste monitoring price if I'm not going to take a trade. And it also leads to bad habits as well. If you start monitoring price, knowing that you're not going to take a trade, you will end up taking a trade at some point. You'll start gambling your funds away before you know it, and you won't have an account. I mean, this certainly isn't the biggest profit ever. We've secured around 70 handles so far. However, just a couple of weeks ago, we secured our biggest win. It was 169 handles, which was a short trade, which I uploaded to YouTube, so you can take a look at that. It's one of the live streams. I do recommend anyone new to trading ICT, they have a flick through my channel and just look at the past live streams, and you'll understand my thought process and the reason for taking trades. And I upload them all on YouTube, all of the live streams. Yeah, so the podcast, how can I say it? I mean, we've got one podcast which is in Spanish, and then we've got one podcast which I've just done yesterday in Miami, and that obviously is in full English. Then I've got a podcast on Thursday with a podcast called HQ. I'm not really too sure whether any of you have heard of HQ podcast, but yeah, I'll be going on that one. And then, yeah, so the Spanish podcast, I'm not really too sure if anyone will be interested in listening to it. I don't know if I should drop it, but I'm most likely going to drop the English speaking one, of course. The one in Miami, I'll drop that shortly. I'll try to get it out today, but they're just working on editing it at the moment. Yeah, so the Spanish one also does have a translator as well. So obviously I don't speak any Spanish at all. So the translator is translating throughout the podcast. But the Miami one's for sure 100% better. That'll be uploaded to the YouTube channel, which everyone's watching the live stream on at the moment. So this 1 minute bearish gap, we should see this get inversed and close above, and then see a continuation where it takes out that short-term high, and then acceleration to take out the final objective, which is the opposing liquidity. At this point, I'm leaving my stops at break even, because there is not a point which would be a valid stop placement. If we come close to this short-term high, I will trail my stops to 19,927. But at this point, I'm not going to trail stops to that point until we get a bit closer to this short-term high. And also at the same time, if ES does take these relatively equal highs, which is London highs, then we will take that as our final TP. Okay, so at this point, move your stops to 927.5. So we're trailing our stops in a profit. We came close to that short-term high, and it's most likely going to get taken. So we moved our stops to that previous short-term low, and price shouldn't really come back to this short-term low, because then it would inverse this 1 minute bullish gap, and then most likely take us out at break even anyway. So we might as well secure more profit on this trade, and then we should see a continuation to final TP at this point as well. Yeah, so good question. I've already been in contact with Rez. He's been messaging me back and forth on email, and I will be going on the Words of Wisdom, which is obviously one of the biggest trading podcasts in the space. But yeah, I will be going on Words of Wisdom very shortly. So I've been going back and forth with him, just trying to arrange a date. But it will be coming out very, very soon. I do look forward to it. So at this point, we should see an acceleration, unless we was to get taken out this short-term low. Should see an acceleration where price takes out these pair of short-term equal highs, and then a continuation to final. And once again, I will mention that if ES does take them relatively equal London highs, then we will take that as our final TP. But if NQ does take, obviously, final TP, then it takes final TP. But if ES takes the short-term relatively equal highs first, then we will take that as our final TP on NQ. Okay, so ES is about to take them equal highs, so I'm about to close out. There we go, final TP.
Order filled. Order filled.
And we're out. And that's it, that's final TP smash. ES has taken them equal highs. So that is me fully out of the position. Spam W's in the chat. It's been a little while since we've spammed W's in the chat, but you have to bear in mind as well that we've always remained with the correct risk management, and our risk has always been managed the whole time. Even if we are to have a spree of losses, our risk is well managed. We remain at half risk. Now we're back at full position size, and all of my accounts have literally not even been affected at all. And if you guys enjoyed this live stream, just make sure to drop a like on this stream. Let's try run it up to around 50 likes. And yeah, I mean, that will be it for this stream today. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I've got quite a bit of work to do, so I'm going to have to cut the live stream early. And I'll speak to you guys tomorrow for the AM session.